Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Journey Across the Galaxy. We are continuing on towards Beagle Point, as we have already cleared Sagittarius A-star from the bubble way back here, and are heading off towards the furthest reaches of the galaxy. We have about 266 jumps to our next waypoint. Unfortunately, you can't you have a limited number of jumps that you can schedule in your little route planner there, so you gotta kind of find waypoints along the way. I just reset to another one. That is the 226 jumps or whatever that is. So, yeah. Still got quite a long ways to go before we're going to make it to our destination. If you're just joining us for the series, this journey is primarily about exobiology along with a little bit of planetary exploration. Trying to increase our exobiology rank to the point where we can get to elite and, I guess however many different elite ranks there are. I was told that the Odyssey expansion, my brain is like really trying to catch up with where my mouth is. I was told that the Odyssey, or my mouth is trying to catch, I don't know, it's one way or the other. My mouth is trying to catch up with my brain, or my brain is trying to catch up with my mouth. I think my mouth is so far behind where my brain is that by the time I'm supposed to actually speak the words, I've already moved on to other things. I think that's what's going on right now. But anyways, let me try to slow down a little bit and slow my thought process down a little bit so that I can actually speak in a relatively intelligible manner. Alright, yeah, there's not enough things here. I was told that the Odyssey expansion ranks all have multiple tiers of elite ranks associated with them, so that's something to think about. But anyways, regardless of that, we are trying to level up our exobiology, and in the process make as much money as we can. We actually made over 1 billion credits on our first sale at Explorer's Anchorage from the bubble out to Sagittarius A-star, so I'm, relatively excited to see how much money we can make going all the way out to Beagle Point, selling our information there, and then the return trip back to the bubble. I'm kind of hoping that by the time we get back to the bubble, we'll have enough money to buy and outfit a fleet carrier. And then, as many of you guys as want to come along are certainly invited to come join my hopefully permanent expedition out into the black, because I won't really have anything, I'm going to make sure I'm fully stocked up with all of the things that I'm going to need as far as engineered materials and all of that kind of stuff, so that hopefully never really have to come back, unless I just really want to. So ideally, I'll have my carrier jumping from point to point and just exploring as much as we can out in the black, and kind of changing things up, because I'll be able to have all of my ships with me. So if we find a system nearby that has really good minerals and things like that, and obviously we're gonna have to do some tritium mining while we're wandering throughout the galaxy to keep ourselves fueled up. And that's kind of the plan for the future, the distant future, obviously, because it took us over a month. It took us over a month to get from the bubble to Sagittarius A-star, based off of the way that I've been running these episodes. I only do 30 minutes-ish a day per episode, and then we tend to stop a lot to do exobiology and scanning and things like that. So it takes a little while to get where we're going. But there's no rush, especially since it seems like they're not going to be, putting the game into maintenance mode. Ideally, there'll be enough interest in the game as a whole that, a small percentage of those people will want to come and join the journey as far as watching the channel. And then once we get the fleet carrier, it'll be a little home base that maybe some people will want to hop into and come, fly through the galaxy with me. So that'd be pretty cool. All right, now that we finally found a number of systems where we can actually scan something, we typically try to remember to hop into the system map to see if anybody's scanned anything yet. Typically it's not. Out this far, typically it's not the case. So we'll go ahead, slow down, hop into our full spectrum system scanner. We're looking for Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, and water worlds. You can see down there in the bottom right, this little range of stuff. But since there's none of that, and there's less than 15 bodies, we'll go ahead and do a quick scan of the system to see if there are any biological signatures here. So if you look up in the top right there where it says features, right now there's none, but if we see a biological and a number next to it, that will make it a point of interest for us. So let's go ahead and, so it says, that says geological. We're not looking for geologicals right now. Eventually, we're probably going to want to, depending on how many boost, FSD boosts I'm gonna need once we get out to Beagle Point, because the distances between stars out towards the edge can get pretty extreme, and even my 60-ish light year jump range may not be enough, depending on, you know, what's out there. So as we start getting closer towards the edge of the galaxy, I'll probably start focusing a little bit more on hopping into the SRV and gathering the materials that I need for our FSD boosts. I do have enough for a fair amount. Let's see. I gotta remember how to find it. I don't want to run into the star though, so let's wait till we do that. Regardless, I have enough. I have enough for a few. 29 bodies. I forget how to. Here we go. So I have enough for 13 regular, 13 basic, 3 standards, and then, you know, I could probably find some yttrium to get maybe 1 or 2 of those. So we'll see. I'm not really sure. It depends on what we really think we need. But regardless of the number of bodies, we always stop to check and see if there are any high-value planets, but 29 bodies is a lot to scan, so we're going to go ahead and just move on to the next system. Appreciate all of you who choose to watch these videos, especially if you're significantly contributing to the watch time, because you're actually watching a significant portion of the videos. Those of you who are placing down likes, you're definitely helping not only, you know, the channel metrics, but just to motivate me to continue making these videos. It's much easier to want to sit down and do these things when you know that people are appreciating it. And then, you know, obviously my channel members, I appreciate you guys the most, because you guys are taking an active role in, you know, helping this become something that will eventually be a career, I hope. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. The channel is it's a slow but continuous growth, and, you know, I'm appreciative of that. It's, you know, really trying to push towards that 1,000 subscriber mark, because once we hit that point, I can fully monetize my channel, and that's going to be pretty sweet. So it's only 11 bodies. 15 is generally my limit. You know, I fudge it a little bit, but yeah, definitely never 20 or more. I might go up as high as 19, depending on how I feel or how unlucky we've been going through systems. You know, if we're a significant portion of the way into the episode and we haven't found anything, then I'll typically bump my number up, because, you know, I like to find things when we can. Still no features. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I am going to take a second, though, hop into the controls and adjust the sensitivity of my filter. I'm going to put it down by 2, so that way, hopefully, I have a little bit more control, because I'm having to do a lot of twitchy back and forth trying to get it on where I'm trying to get it to, on the signal type that I'm trying to find. That's a little frustrating. So yeah, we have 260 jumps until we reach the next waypoint that I've set. It's just some arbitrary star that was another 14,000-ish light years away. Just got to keep going on the journey and resetting things as we go. There is a 20,000 light year maximum on the route that you can plot in this game. So you end up having to break up your journey into legs, which I guess isn't the most terrible thing in the world. But you know, as I've said, if we had a, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and scan this, because I really want to find more biology. I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to get away from the star. I always forget to check out this. I know I'm supposed to check out the map, but I always forget. All right, what do we got here? Okay, no features. Still no features. Wow, where are these? These bodies are all spread out. Yikes. Okay, it's nice when they're all kind of close together like this, though. It means I don't have to go searching for them all the time. Alright, yeah, it's a lot of ice, I think. Which, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be anything there. I found plenty of Fonticula on ice bodies. What are we looking for? So just really focused on trying to hurry up and get these scanned so that we can get out of here if there's nothing. Man, still nothing. So this highlights that gambler's fallacy idea where you feel like if there's a lot, like I know that people talk about the law of large numbers and stuff, but you know, realistically, when you're on the gambler side of things and you don't and you're not in control of, and you're not on the side of the benefit of the law of large numbers, it doesn't really apply to you. You make a big bet. We're on the betting side of things when we're looking at this stuff, and you look at a 30 or 40 body system and you're like, oh man, I have a much better chance of finding something. No, you don't. You don't have a better chance of finding anything based off of the total number of bodies in any particular system. You have a higher chance of finding things based off of scanning more things over a long period of time, but looking at a body with 40 systems versus a body with 10 looking at a system with 10 bodies in it versus a system with 30 bodies in it, you don't really have a significantly higher chance of finding anything, and so it's better to just, you know, kind of try to find a balance between, oh, there's a high value world here. It's better to kind of find a balance between, you know, how much you're going to scan versus how quickly you want to get where you're going. Okay. So we'll scan the rest of these rest of these bodies here. If anything has biology on it, that would be nice. But I guess pretty much this system's mostly about that water world that we just found. We'll go scan that. We'll be able to get a fair amount of money out of that. What's this? Still no biology. Grab this one. Still nothing. Features, none. That's mostly what you see in this game. Features, none. Always seems to be what it is. Get ourselves over to the planet. We'll do a quick scan, and then hopefully, I'm really hoping we'll be able to find another biological signature here, at least in the next, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, so we can get those scanned and hopefully not make this a ridiculously long episode. Feels like lately we've been going over that 30-minute mark that I try to keep my episodes towards, because we always end up finding biological signatures after that 20-minute mark, and it takes a little bit to get to the planet and get down to the body and do some scanning and all of that stuff. So I generally like it when we can find a biological signature within the first 15 minutes, because then I can make the episode relatively short. Because while I'm sure super diehard Elite fans are going to want to, or have no problem sitting for more than 30 minutes, if the content is interesting enough, most people are not. So, hold on. All right, here we go. Let's get our scan going. As soon as we slow down. Oops. All right. 7 probes is the efficiency target, so we have to shoot less than 7 probes or less to get an extra bonus to our money for scanning this planet. Fortunately, I have engineered my scanner so that I have a higher radius for each of the probes. We don't need to wait on any of that. We'll go ahead and get our next scan our next jump targeted, so we can start charging our frameshift drive, and ideally the efficiency bonus will hit before we jump. It almost always does. There it is. All right, off we go to the next system, really crossing our fingers, hoping that we're going to find some biology. I think in the last episode we found another Stratum Tectonicus, and those are worth a lot of money, so if we can find a bunch of those, that's another, you know, even just finding 10 of those along the way, I think that's like 1 billion credits all by itself. Just because with the first footfall bonus and the fact that they're like 20 million a piece. Oh, I forgot to put my throttle back up. Alright, well, there's only 2 bodies in this system, so clearly we're not scanning this one. It's a binary star system. That's not going to be particularly interesting, so let's get out of here. The great thing about this ship, and especially the way I have it engineered, is that it doesn't heat up very fast. So I can sit in that. Like if I'm not moving, if I'm not charging my FSD, I could sit in that star. I could sit next to that star, fuel scooping indefinitely. It never heats up all the way. It never heats up to the point where I'm overheating. All right, come on, give us biologicals. Give us some biologicals. Wouldn't it be nice if there were animals in this game, like actual animal life to go find, even if it was just like insects or something that just flies around and you can scan it. Not sure what the yeah, there's an icy body here. We'll give it a scan if we can find it quickly. Because why not? Okay, but see, this is what happens. Here we go. No features, unfortunately. Off we go to the next system. All right. So what are you? Are you guys waiting for me to start complaining about the game again? I don't know. I don't notice, or I'm not sure if my I'm not sure which part of my content you guys like the most. Is it the fact that I just talk a lot during these things and you enjoy watching the space content, and it's just kind of something you have going in the background while you're doing something else, or do you like the criticisms and suggestions of the game, or is it a combination of both? I know in my last episode I talked about Star Citizen and my you know, significant apathy towards it. You know, hopefully you guys got something out of that. I think a lot of that is just the fact that here we go. I think a lot of that is just the fact that I was an early backer and I watched as all of the BS was happening, and you know, it wasn't exactly the most expensive game, depending on what you bought, but it also wasn't cheap either. And we invested a lot of money in those early days, waiting for, you know, something to happen, and it felt like they just at the time, it really felt like they just took our money and weren't going to do anything with it. So that was a little bit hard to get over. I'm going to actually go ahead and pull off in this direction a little bit to see if we can get around the star. See if we can find whatever this was. Okay, that got us around some of it. So, you know, I know that, you know, there's a lot of people who have... Sorry, I'm getting really distracted trying to focus on getting this done. I know there's a lot of people, especially people who came in later and didn't have to deal with the continuous feature creep that ended up happening with that game because they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. And, you know, especially in the beginning, they were making it very clear that they were focused on high-end systems, high-end gameplay, high-end all of this stuff. And, you know, for someone like me who's not an elitist like that, that turned me off a little bit. And just the fact that it never felt like it was going anywhere. There was nothing new, there was nothing interesting. It was a very basic game that you paid full sticker price for. You know, at the time, you know, $30-40 was full sticker price for a game back in the, you know, the early 2010s. So, you know, I was a little bit, I don't want to say I was bitter about it. It was more along the lines of, well, that turned out to be a whole lot of nothing. And you know, I know they have a lot of stuff you can do now, but at the same time, it's another one of those things where, you know what, I think that's what it is. I think the thing is that, you know, I play space games because I want to go explore, not explore things where there's other people there. I want to go explore the galaxy, strange new worlds, stuff like that. And, you know, Star Citizen is even worse in that category than what this is, because you only have a few places you can really go. So that's probably my biggest apathy towards that game, and you know, that is what it is. I'm trying to put my thought process into words while I'm doing things. I don't multitask very well, so a lot of times when I'm really trying to focus on getting this crosshair lined up on something, my brain starts focusing more on that than saying words, forming words and having them come out of my mouth. So yeah, I think especially because I've made it very clear in this game that my primary goal and focus is exploration. I want to go out and see cool stuff. And while there are very beautiful and cool looking things in Star Citizen from what I've seen other channels do, there's only a few places you can go. There is no exploration in Star Citizen. That's not what the game was designed to be. And while I understand that they're going to continue to add to it over the years, they're taking their sweet time. You know, it's great to be a perfectionist, but at some point you have to start saying, you know, my perfectionism is really making it take forever to get this done. And you know, that I can't agree with anybody who says that no, it needs to be the best it possibly can be before they release it. And it's like, okay, you know, that's why it's taken I don't know, I don't even remember when Star Citizen came out. I want to say it's been around 10 years at this point, right? At least, you know, and that's why it's been in alpha. It's been in alpha for a decade. I mean, that's by any metric, that's ridiculous. We made fun of Duke Nukem Forever, right? The Duke Nukem sequel. It took them over 10 years, 15, 20 years, something like that, to get it out, and everybody made fun of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, why am I getting? Oh, it's because it's a slowdown notice. All right. Well, we need to start finding a body to land on. Let's go ahead and this is close enough here that we could get landed on something. We can find a body to land on. Of course, we find a biological signature now. Okay. All right, let's try to hurry up and finish this system scan here. Where's the other ones? There should be another. Oh, it's behind. That's fine. We'll head towards this a little bit, then we'll stop, and then try to see if we can snag that other set and see if there's anything over there. Because if there's more to scan over there, then I'd like to try to find it. Not sure why we're getting a slowdown. All right, let's see if we can find that now. There we go. Still no features. Grab this guy so that we can get out of this this little area right there. Grab that, and grab that, and grab that. Okay, off we go. Oops, not that one. Get this guy. Get this guy targeted and super cruise, get ourselves lined up perfectly, and then I'll bring you guys back once we're relatively close. And we are approaching the system here, so we got to get up close to it, do our detailed surface scan to determine what biology is here, and then we actually have to get down to the surface and actually do it. Try to speed this up just a little bit. I try to bring you guys in as we're approaching a planetary system like this so you can get a nice view of everything that's here. Alright, just got to get close enough to get the scanner done, and then we can get down and get our exobiology done for this episode. But as usual, it showed up in the last 10 minutes of the video, so we're going to be over on time again, because it takes time to get over here, it takes time to scan things, it takes time to get down to the surface, it takes time to actually do the sampling and all of that, so, ugh. It's really annoying when this happens. Come on. So, we just need 2 probes. We'll do one there, and then we have to sit here and wait for that to finish so that we can do some informational filtering to hopefully find the hotspots for this stuff and make sure we're going to the right place. So, we're waiting. Boom.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scanned.
Yep, Fonticula. And unfortunately, there's no specific area where they are. So we kind of have to just come in and search around. Ooh, too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm guessing this area right here. But this right here is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the planetary landings. I'm having to play with the throttle way too much to not slam into the atmosphere here. I don't like having to manually have to worry about this. I should just be able to set the throttle and it automatically brings me towards the place, the point on the planet where I want to be. We're gonna go down into this big crater here because usually I find Fonticula a lot in these craters. So now I can slowly start bumping up the throttle. Now that we're sub 10 kilometers per second, and then it should be fine. But it's just, I don't like this idea that I have to, you know, be finicky with my throttle to make sure I don't slam into things. The computer should be smart enough to just take me in at the correct speed. All right, we'll get the night vision turned on to outline things and make it easier to see, hopefully. That's definitely, I'm pretty sure this is Fonticula over here.
Landing gear deployed.
All right. Are we able to land here? Well, this is going to be another part of the irritation. That's the only thing about flying this particular, only thing about flying medium-sized ships is that it's much harder to find landing spots. It can be. Come on, give me a landing spot, please. Oh, you guys are killing me with this. God. This is so dumb. Look at this. It's all relatively flat land, but they're going to make me go find another spot because reasons. Like, how flat does it have to be? You're killing me with this. This definitely needs an update. The landing, the interaction with the ground definitely needs an update. Come on, can you? It's green, let me land. I seriously have no patience for fiddly little things like that. It really should not be like that. That's really incredibly annoying. Just let me land. And if you're not going to let me land, let me leave my ship hovering there and let me EVA out and go do it this way. I mean, seriously, there's no reason why they can't adjust it so that your ship can just be hovering in the air right there, and the little blue circle here that lets you get back on your ship can still be on the ground right where you're flying, right where you're hovering. There's no reason that they can't do that. That would be a relatively easy fix, to just make it so that you can stop your ship, do it, put it in auto hover mode, and it just sits there while you descend down to the planet surface and do what you got to do, and then come back up. It's really annoying that they don't. Let's see, this one should be far enough away. You got to make sure you're far enough away so that you get genetic diversity in these things. trying to be as quick as I can because we're already at the 30-minute mark. So I didn't see anything that looked like bacteria. I may go on my own time and just go find the bacteria just to see if I can find anything. Oh, all right. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these samples. We'll end the episode here. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more viewers. We want to get as many people along for this journey as we can. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your video feed and you will be able to watch them as soon as they become available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button so that you can see what the perks will be depending on which tier you choose and decide if any of those are right for you. No, don't crash. Oops, okay. Oops. Anyways, thank you very much for your time. Oh my god. See, this right here. Look at this. It's all flat land. It's all flat land, but I can't land on it. What is this crap? It says alignment okay. Anyways, thank you very much for your time. Hope you guys had lots of fun, and I'll see you for the next one.